Welcome back to my channel. Let's cut the bull and get straight to it, shall we? So today I'm doing a bronzed eye with winged eyeliner and pearl detailing using a birthday candle. So stick around and see how that pans out for me. All right, people, skin prep. Very important. I'm just removing the oils, the dirt from yesterday, your sins, using micellar water and a little cotton pad there. Very important to start off with a fresh canvas. And the next part, of course, is the moisturizer. So we want to really hydrate your skin. Hydrating your skin and getting your base really well prepped is going to help with the longevity of the makeup. It's going to make everything sit better, apply better. You just can't go wrong. There's nothing worse than dry skin. When you're doing your own skin prep, make sure you do it about 10 to 15 minutes prior to applying your makeup. That's going to give the products time to work and really penetrate the layers of the skin. All right, I'm going to be carving out the brow using one of my favorite brushes from the Holy Grail collection, one of the very first brushes I purchased about 8 years ago, and just using concealer to really map out the eye. Using a sponge, I'm just going to push that product in and help blend out those lines so there's not too much excess product on there. I'm now just using a liquid shadow base. This is going to help again with the longevity of the makeup, really give the shadows something to stick to here and just add some extra dimension to the eyeshadows as well. Just applying that with a fluffy brush and then blending it out with a clean brush. Taking a darker shade, I'm going to start mapping out where I want the depth and the definition of the eye. So I always start the outer corner and just kind of work my way in. I'll get my client, or make sure you look straight ahead so you can see just how far you're bringing out that depth. Don't want to bring it out too far and too much beyond the crease, otherwise it can just look like a dark mess. So using a transition shade, I'm going to layer that darker brown and blend that into the initial liquid shadow that I used, and that will give it a really nice soft transition. And now I am going in with the shimmer. I really wanted a nice bronzy shade to make Sel's eyes pop, so I think I mixed two shades, which I will list below. It's going in with a brush first and then using my fingers, which are the best tools, everyone. Don't go waste money on brushes and expensive things. You can use your fingers for majority of makeup application, I think anyway. And nice little tip for you, cleaning up underneath the eye with a cotton pad and some micellar water. This is a really good tip for if you're going to do eyeliner. I start from underneath the base of the lower lashes and drag it up towards the tip of your eyebrow. That's going to give you the best kind of guidance, kind of shape there. And again, will just make things easier when you go in to do the winged eyeliner look. All right, my favorite part. This is my favorite part. I loved winged eyeliner. And when I first started doing makeup, that was all I did. That's all I knew how to do. I had this Rimmel little like liquid eyeliner and I would literally just drag it along my lid. And I remember people like, oh my God, you're so good at winged eyeliner. I really wasn't. It was purely the product applicator stick. So watching this for me is almost orgasmic because I don't know, I thoroughly enjoy watching winged eyeliner because you just see the shape of the eye change so much with a winged eyeliner because that's the purpose of it. It's to manipulate the shape of the eye. Nice little side note, this brush was actually purchased by my mother from the Napoleon store, I don't know if it's still there, in Garden City when I was about 16 or 17, I think. And it stayed in my drawer for years because I didn't actually start wearing makeup until I was mid-20s. So when I started getting into makeup, I found this brush and it just sat in my drawer. And then I eventually put it in my kit. I lost it for a little while because my daughter actually put it in her painting box. So there's a nice little sentimental green bit of paint on my eyeliner brush. So next time I'm doing your winged eyeliner, look out for my green brush. Okay, just using a drugstore mascara here. There's no need to spend a ton of money on mascara. They all do the same thing. This one's really nice because it's tubular, so it kind of comes off in more little socks. Little socks for your lashes is like, it's how I like to say it. I find it just, so much easier to remove. It doesn't kind of end up all cloudy and impossible to take off when you're washing your face, which is a nice little plus. Just applying some individual lashes here. Another little Perth brand. I love to support locals. So these are the Harbour individual lashes. I very rarely use a strip lash. Reason being, I saw a drunk girl at a wedding once, and it just didn't help her case. She had one lash just completely flapping in front of her face. So that was the day I thought, I'm gonna spare my clients the embarrassment and only stick to individuals. Now just using a primer on your base. This is the Hourglass Veil Mineral. This is one of my favorites, my favorite brand ever. Just buffing that into the skin. It's really good for oil control. Which, like me, I could probably make a salad with the oil from my skin. So I kind of make sure I target it towards the center of the face. Again, gonna help with the longevity of the makeup and just make everything else go on like a dream. Got some illuminator going on, same brush. We want to minimize cleanup at the end because who can be asked washing their brushes? Not me. Just doing those applying is more professional, isn't it? Applying the highlighter to the sides of the face and just the tip of the nose. You want to avoid anywhere where you're going to get super oily. So forehead, chin, and I do avoid sides of the nose. Now I'm just applying the foundation, same brush. Again, I think this is the Nars longwear. Again, list it below. We are, still buffing. Still buffing. Using a beauty blender, I'm just gonna blend that in, further push that product into the skin. And what I love about the Nars foundations, I've used a lot of foundations in my time. I find the Nars are just the most seamless foundation, and it tends to emulsify into your skin opposed to sitting on top. I much prefer the original beauty blenders. I have used a variety of them before. I also love the Dirty 30s. By Courtney, love her, another Perth girl. I just tend to, gravitate towards the beauty blenders because that was like the OG in my kit, and I find they're just the softest, and I can't help it, I love it. Every time I use them, people are like, oh, this is so soft. So I just continue to use it. Okay, now using some prolongwear concealer, I am brightening up the face and just concealing the under eye, all those hours of partying that Sel's had around her birthday month. Concealing her sins. I've already used sins, I can't use that again. And the high points of her face, because we want to brighten and lift again. So just using a concealer brush, high points of the face, and then I'm also going to help sharpen up that line of the winged eyeliner, and that will help again to further lift the eye, as you can see I'm doing here. And it just has such a dramatic effect, doesn't it, when you kind of crispen up that line. So if you even stuff up your eyeliner, that's a really nice little way to kind of correct it there. So I'm doing the other eye now. Any kind of paddle, flat brush will do the trick. Back in with the beauty blender. Tappa, 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 as they say. It's really blending out the concealer. The trick with concealer is you want to use, it looks like I've used a heap of concealer on here, and I do, because I don't want to skimp out on my clients. But the trick is to not have excess product. So the beauty blender is a really good way to remove any excess product and to kind of buff out creasing and things like that. But people, creasing is normal, it's gonna happen. your skin moves. You know, it would be weird if it was just flat and perfect underneath your eye. You know, if you've got any sort of facial expression, you're gonna have lines, you're gonna have little creasing, and that's totally normal and it's beautiful. So we're not gonna pretend like there's such a thing as creaseless, unless you're 5 years old wearing makeup, which is not what we're about. Just warming up the face now with some cream bronzer using an angled brush. And this is one of my favorite steps to do on my clients because it just really makes the look come together and just starts adding some more dimension to the face, making them look like they're in Europe, you know, which most people are right now. Not me, just in my living room, but you know. Using a cream cream blush on the same brush, and just getting Cell to do a cute little smile there so I can map out the apples of her cheeks, because that's where you want majority of the product is up towards your bronzer and then diffused towards the center of your face. The more blush, the fuller your face. So I kind of tend to keep it quite high and back towards like I said, the bronzer there. Again, going back in with that beauty blender. That is a hard working sponge, almost like the Today sponge. Little Seinfeld reference there. Couldn't help myself. All right, let's start back on the under eye area. Again, I'm pretty much going to do the same thing I did with the top lid. So I'm going to start with the darkest shade of the brown that I use and just slowly transition down to the lightest. So I use a small angled brush right near the lash line, and again starting on the outer corner of the eye. So we're kind of, you know, staying consistent with the cat eye theme. Anything you bring too much towards the inner corner of the eye is going to accentuate the shape, whereas we just want to kind of still be lifting. So just on the outer corner of the eyes we'll do that. Now just using the warmer brown shade to blend that dark shade out. And then again using the even lighter shade to blend that one out. And just bringing it slowly further down the eye. So it transitions seamlessly into the under eye area, which is what I'm all about. I love a smoky under eye. I'm a sucker for a smoky under eye. It'd be very rare for me to not put product underneath. I like shadow. When people are like, I don't like shadow, but can't do it. Okay, just brushing up the brows, adding a bit of color through there. I don't want to do too much to Cell's brows. They're already beautiful and really good shape, so they don't need a whole heap. Kind of remove any excess product that's through the brow and just maybe redefine the tail end and the arch and just slowly diffuse it towards the front of the brow. I don't like a whole heap of product around here. It can look too blocky, but also I don't want the brow starting too far back because believe it or not, the closer your brows, the thinner your face looks. So that's why I'm kind of edging towards unibrow with my own brows. I'm not. That was my Italian heritage. Using some mascara on the lower lashes. And a little fun fact for you here. I never put mascara on my lower lashes because I hate the way that it makes my eye shape look. It tends to drag them down a little bit. So if you've got really round eyes, like I find I do, or downturned, mascara is going to kind of drag them down even further. So if you want to lift, just stick to mascara on your top lashes. Just a little inner corner highlight, you know, brighten that little inner corner up. A lot of people ask for that. It's a really cute little detail that actually adds a lot to a look. So always use light shimmery kind of color in the inner corner. And for this look, I'm using the same highlighter, which is an Hourglass one, just on the rest of the face. Okay, now I'm setting all the cream products now. So going in with a powder blush just to kind of set the cream blush on the cheeks and lining those lips. It's a bit of a trend at the moment to not have overly lined lips, so we want more of a kind of diffused shape. So I'm going over the vermilion border, oh tricky, learned that at dental school, using a fluffy brush to just diffuse that line. So you've got more of like a flush of color opposed to like lined lips and lipstick, because that look is so like 3 years ago, not even last year probably. I'm not up with the trends. I am, but I pretend I'm not. So buffing that liner in with some lip color. This is my favorite lipstick ever. It is the MAC Cherish shade, which is just so flattering on majority of people's skin tones. I use that a lot in my bridal looks and just for the everyday. And it's pretty much the only lipstick that I'll wear, and I hate wearing lipstick. So that's saying something. It's just a real nice nude. And the best thing about nudes are that if you're eating and drinking, it's the easiest thing to kind of maintain. Anything too bold is just a nightmare for me, especially because I love to eat. Okay, setting the rest of the face with some bronzer now. Again, favorite product, some Hourglass bronzer. Just again, adding some further warmth to the face and just setting those cream bronzers. That's Sel absolutely loving her self-seek, which is what we're all about. Now the fun stuff, the pearls. So originally I had a pen from Tennille that helps apply diamantes and little accents to your look. However, it melted because I left it out in the sun. So I had to get a bit resourceful and try candle. But unfortunately, pearls being really, you know, smooth and round, they didn't quite pick up on the candle. So I had to use tweezers. Luckily, I'm nimble enough to utilize such a tool. So I like to work in threes when it comes to diamantes or little detailing. So little triangles tend to work best, I find, and I use a variety of sizes. So you want to use different sizes in more of like a triangular shape, and you can kind of see that I'm working in threes. And once I've finished, you can kind of see the little groups of the triangles and stuff that I'm trying to achieve there. And I'm going to keep the diamantes more on the upper portion of the eyes and the face, again, to lift, because that's where I want the focal point. Oh, it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty stoked with that. Another favorite little tip that I started doing about 6 months ago is adding your little beauty spots back in. I know freckles are a trend there, or they still are a trend. I love the fact that we used to conceal beauty spots and now we're accentuating them. It's about bloody time, because I think they're adorable. And again, it's just making the skin look like skin, which is what we are all about, being comfortable in the skin you're in. Adding a little bit of illuminator on the body and we are done. All right, so here are some close-up details of the look. And so looking absolutely stunning and loving herself. She looks incredible. I'm pretty stoked with how it turned out, let's be honest. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.